And welcome back into Open Line. I'm Chuck Long, glad to be along with you. A lot of you calling in with those legal questions. This is the time to do it because we have our expert in the house, Kevin Kennedy from the renowned Kennedy Law Firm. Kennedy Law Firm has been around for over 35 years. All that expertise helps you, the viewer, and we are so glad for those questions that you have. Kevin, I tell you what, again, as some of our callers have been asking, I was just thinking, they've really done their research, and that's what it's all about. It's like being prepared.
Yes. New day, that's where you're in the middle of it. You have, why are some people so educated? We have the telephone, you can Google almost any subject and you learn more in just a matter of seconds. Well, what does that really mean to the law business? It means that everyone is more sophisticated, everyone's more educated. So if you're not, hey, you're getting behind the eight ball. So learn, pursue, research, and you'll save yourself a lot of grief.
Now, a lot of times, I tell you, we have a broad range of questions that we always get on the episode of Open Line on Ask the Attorney, whether or not it's about estate planning, maybe it's about a problem that you're having with a neighbor, maybe it's a situation that you're not sure you're getting these medical bills and you're like, am I responsible for all of these medical bills? Maybe it's an encounter with a traffic stop and you're not sure what you did right or wrong.
Yes.
Call us, ask those questions right now because this is the time you get that great free advice from the expert himself, and that's what we're going to do right now. If you do have one of those questions, oh, by the way, that's the number on your screen. 737-7587 is the number that you can call with any of those legal questions you may have. Let's go to the lines right now. Robert is on the line with us. Robert, we're glad that you're joining us on Open Line. What's your question for Kevin?
Well, sir, I've never done anything like this before, but Mr. Kennedy, I'm disabled, and I'm a Marine that was that's almost 61 years old, and I was stationed at Camp Lejeune in late '79, and for about 9 more months in 1980. I'm so confused over all of these ads and advertising and Facebook and blah, 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 but is there any advice you can give guys like me that have heart problems and lung problems?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was on the cutting edge in Miami when it was first being talked about bringing, and now it's completely exploded. And so, yes, as soon as you said Marine first, thank you for your service. We salute you. We love you. That's why we're enjoying this tonight and others, because of your sacrifice. You, sir, should pick one of these lawyers. We handle those kinds of cases. So the real world is what happened. They had some leaky, contaminated material, got in the water system. As a result, so many claims have been filed. And now they have set up a trust fund with billions of dollars. So if you're a victim, you should make a claim. I'd hire one of the lawyers, make a claim. And what they'll do a massive settlement once the claims are made and try to resolve all those issues. But people come up with cancer, all types of cancer. If you're just watching, you're getting educated like crazy just watching the commercials, and some people say, oh, brother, not another one. Well, my heart goes out to the people who've been victimized because of abuse, whatever it is. If it's corporate abuse, government abuse, hey, that's why this money was set aside. So I encourage you, do it immediately, call a lawyer, and make your claim. And you know what is sad, I've had people over the years when we've been involved, and they call these mass torts. Not all lawyers deal with mass torts, but if you do, then you're making a difference for the family. And you know, when we get some age on us, what's really important? My country, you did that, sir. We salute you and thank you. But your family, it makes a difference. If we were to get a settlement, they would benefit from all your effort.
All right, important advice. We appreciate that, Kevin, and thank you for calling in, Robert. All right, let's go back to our lines right now. Jeff is calling back. Jeff had one, I think, question to add. Go ahead, Jeff. We're glad you called back.
Hey, Chuck. I don't know your name. Mr. Kennedy. You know, you said something about lawyers and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I've had my money since February. My mother gave me, and maybe I spent too much money. I don't know. What I'm saying, is there a law, I mean, about spending too much money or reporting the banks or something? Maybe it was a part of my grieving. I've done a lot of good for people, not quite as much for myself. but they're going to tell me they're going to suspend my account for recent activities or something. I mean,
So, Jeff,
I'm not a lawbreaker. I don't know. I mean, what can I do?
I'm with you, Jeff, and you know, it shouldn't really be determined on the amount of money that if you had a lawful right to go in there and get it. I don't know, was that account set up as a trustee for the health, benefit, and welfare? Then somebody might say, well, this is too much money and it's exceeding the fiduciary responsibility. Those are issues you need to talk to somebody privately. But you might go to the bank and say, what is going on? Understand, you don't have to make a lot of statements. You're trying to get information. And then you might take that to a lawyer privately, and you don't have to make statements of everything because the bank officials are going to have to make notes in there if this person said this and this person. So don't let your words be used against you. You're on a fact-finding mission, and then take that and then talk to a lawyer privately. But thank you for your call, because that's the real world. So many other people find themselves in that place. Here's the word to the world. If you had parents and they've got money, you need to go to the bank and either say, put me on the account with the right of survivorship. If they pass, then those funds go to you. You spend it as you see fit. It could be at the bank, payable on death. When I pass away, this account, the remaining balance goes to and it's his to do as he pleases. So, and then there's situations that you have to file the estate because there may be some other beneficiaries and the bank doesn't want to be sued later that they handled that account not correctly. But thank you, Jeff. It's always good to hear from you.
All right, very nice. Let's go back to the lines right now with Martha. Martha, we're glad that you're calling in on a great fall evening. What's your question or comment for Kevin?
Yes, I own property, and I was wondering if I go down and change the deed and put my daughter's name on it, and something did happen to me, would it just automatically go to her then?
Yeah, good question. Yes, you have the right to go down and deed the property to your daughter, you or her, with the right of survivorship. Then, if you died, that property by operational law already is in her name. And if she were to die, all the property is in your name. So that's something that you should talk to a state lawyer. We'd like to know a little bit more about all of your circumstances because different things, but you nailed it right on the head, absolute, and it's not a bad idea at all.
All right, Martha, again, thank you for calling in this evening. And let's go right back to the lines. A lot of you calling in. If you are watching this the show this evening and you have one of those questions, I just encourage you to get on the line with us as quickly as possible so we can get to as many calls as possible. All right, here we go with Don. Don, we're glad that you called in. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
I do. Mr. Kennedy, thank you for taking the questions this evening.
Thank you,
My
Don.
wife was involved in a situation where her mother, before passing away, completed a revocable trust where she left her mobile home and property to my wife and I. Right now, one of her brothers is causing a problem, saying that he wants to know what's in that revocable trust. And according to the person who put the trust together for us, who's passed away, said that that's one of the reasons you create a trust is so that only those parties that are mentioned in there have any concerning to it. So do we have any obligation at all to letting him know what's in that trust?
All right, it's a good question. Thank you. And the difference is it's a revocable trust or irrevocable trust. There's a lot of different things that we could talk all night about. But whenever I have a family member, it's trouble. So what do I know when there is trouble? I lawyer up. I really wouldn't make a whole lot of statements. It wouldn't bother me. I would just have a lawyer and let my lawyer write them a letter and they can contact them. That is a shield. It's a layer of protection, and I don't want you worried about it. And so it's because if you get into a conversation, anything you say can be and will be used against you. Now, guess what? Remember, if his agenda is not your agenda, they can tape you, they can distort what you say, misinterpret what you... So why don't you avoid that? And that's what I would recommend. Get a lawyer, take the proactive, and let them go in between. Maybe they can just resolve this, and perhaps he may not want to invest any and say, they're just too smart, leave it alone.
Okay.
Thanks for calling, Don.
Absolutely. We appreciate that call, Don, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. If you do have one of those legal questions, make sure you get online with us as quickly as possible. The number is 737-7587. Back with more of your questions right after this.